I wanted to say first, thank you, Ryan, and JAXA, Dr. Inatomi, for inviting me. I'm very excited to be here. This was really cool when I heard about that you guys were doing this workshop. Oftentimes, when people think about a pressurized rover, they think about the crewed part of the pressurized rover. That's the images you see. That's a lot of the great work that's been done out in the deserts with NASA and other entities has really kind of focused on the habitation aspect of the pressurized rover, the driving, the spacewalks, EVAs. And so when I heard that Dr. Inatomi and Ryan were putting together and organizing this workshop to focus on the unpressurized or uncrewed, the uncrewed capability of the pressurized rover, I was extremely excited. It's an area that, when you look at it, if you were to do the math, right now, um, the plan is to have crew in the pressurized rover once a year, up to 30, 33 days. If you're to do the math, if we're able to fly a crew once a year and use the pressurized rover, about 90, 91% of the time the pressurized rover is on the moon, it does not have a crew member with it. So when you think about it from that perspective, it's like, okay, is it just going to sit there and wait? Or are we going to use this thing, and how will we use this thing? And so to me, it's always been in the back of my mind that even though so much of the excitement and so much of the focus is on the crude portion, we really, really need to figure out how to utilize this rover when the crew is not there. And so Ryan and I have talked a lot. I've also talked a lot with JAXA, and to try to find ideas and ways we can really use this rover during that period of time. So first off, thank you. Just the fact you guys are coming together and having these conversations is amazing, because so much of the pressurized rover, so much of our use of the pressurized rover is going to be during that uncrewed portion. And I'm just talking about that 10 years, right, when the pressurized rover is going to be part of the Artemis campaign. My understanding is JAXA is envisioning another phase beyond that where it will continue to do uncrewed science. And so a lot of what we learn in the first 10 years might be able to be utilized as you move forward. So first, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for coming together and having these discussions. It's extremely invaluable to me and to the pressurized rover community, both NASA and JAXA, for this vehicle to be utilized and to really advance science during the uncrewed portion of it. Now, with that, and I know Sato-san from JAXA, the pressurized rover uh, manager, he's gonna walk through and talk about, kind of the vehicle and what its opportunities are, capabilities are. But before that, I kind of want to just touch on a couple kind of high points. One is, what this community is doing is extremely challenging. You guys are trying to take a vehicle that a lot of the function and capability of this vehicle to keep the crew safe and to be able to be successful during the science of the crew spacewalks, a lot of the focus is going to be there. And so what you guys have is a very, very challenging opportunity where you're trying to understand what the vehicle is so you can figure out how to use it when the crew is not there. And we recognize how challenging that is. We recognize that it's not trivial. A lot of the things you're going to try to do in this community are groundbreaking. They're trying to do things that haven't been done before, trying to explore areas that haven't been explored, trying to take advantage of this amount of time you have when the crew is not there to do some things. So we recognize that challenge, and I'd like to offer that the only way we're going to be successful in that challenge is for this community to keep working together to be successful in that challenge. It can be really easy when you get into the different communities, whether it's science and engineering, whether it's NASA, JAXA, or some of the other different program, uh, different international partner communities, to really kind of get caught up in the how we do things and how we want to do things, and you're not doing what I want to do or what have you. And I think our opportunity here is if we work together and really figure out how to work together, this vehicle is going to do amazing things for us. And so thank you for starting that, continuing that with this workshop, but please continue to do that. Please continue to work with each other. Please continue to JAXA and NASA to work together, engineers and scientists to work together so we can really, really get there and have a beautiful vehicle. The other thing I wanted to kind of talk about is, it's a challenge, and I think we're gonna have to be creative. It's really easy to fall back on this is how we've always done things, or this is what I think the future is. I really think we need to find ways and continue to talk so we can be creative, so we can harness that energy, that creativity that we have at NASA, at JAXA, throughout the science and engineering communities. Sato-san's going to talk about certain capabilities, certain ideas, certain things they're doing, and you're going to be able to take those and be creative with those. But I also offer, and I'm always talking to Ryan about this, one of the biggest challenges I have is, finding what is possible, finding the art of the possible, if you will, trying to find what we can actually accomplish. It's real easy to come in and say, in a perfect world, this is what we want this vehicle to do. But by the time I try to figure out how to launch the vehicle, get it to the moon, when I start talking about its mass, or, how big it is, or, where it can go and where it can't go, it really, really becomes a challenging problem. And so this ability to work together and be creative, I think, is how we're going to get there, because at this time, I don't really know what the perfect solution is or what we can actually achieve. And that's going to continue to improve as we move forward. So please have an open mind, a creative mind. Come in, listen, learn, communicate, bring ideas to Ryan and to his team, to Dr. Inatomi and his team, and let's just keep trying to figure out how we can really utilize this vehicle and turn it into this great thing. When I think in the future, a lot of the conversations we have at NASA are related to, the public outreach, if you will. Um, Envisioning a crew member on the moon with this, you know, backdrop, or on a spacewalk, or driving the pressurized rover, and what that's going to do to the world and the excitement of our youth or just our communities. To me, equally invaluable is the science that you guys are able to do. I know it really is going to drive a lot into your community and into the world as far as excitement and continuing to press the boundaries of science. And so I'm just really excited that you guys have put this community together, and Ryan, you're continuing to have these conversations and talk about how we get there. This vehicle, because it's not going to have crew a lot, is going to have some capabilities where it can autonomously go places and do things. And, you know, when I talk to young kids, a lot of them are just super excited about the robotic aspects and some of the science aspects. Yes, there's the crew piece and the spacewalk piece, which is equally of exciting to them, but a lot of people just want to them, an autonomous car that can do amazing things with science is just as equally interesting. So thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm excited. We've got a long road ahead, but it's an exciting opportunity. So with that, I just wanted to say thank you. And Ryan, thanks for the invite. And I guess next is Sato-san with more of a description.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah, we really appreciate you joining us and giving those inspiring words. So we're definitely looking forward to this.